All right, welcome to Pods and Pies. Our pizza today is
The pie pizzeria.
the pie.
Have you had the pie
said-
before?
Have,
You have.
absolutely,
Okay. Yes.
We got Summer Jensen on. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
I
Summer
asked her-
Jensen from Ogden originally,
Yep.
and then moved from Kaysville down to
Kaysville.
Utah County.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I asked what kind of pizza she liked, you
Oh.
replied with
Meat lovers.
meat lover.
Okay, that's good.
So this is called the
Oh
Mountain
my
of Meat.
Gosh.
Oh, that looks good.
So-
Dude, that's almost kind of a Chicago-ish, like super
That's a
deep.
big old pie right there.
That's a thick, dude, I'm pumped. I've never
Yeah.
had that pizza from
Me
there.
neither. We've never had that one. This is legit right
Oh,
here.
man.
And I was telling Summer, we do encourage everybody to try to eat as much as they can. It's very difficult
Yeah.
to do that, but
Yes, it is.
you know, because we hope that you're talking most of the time.
You have to either. I feel like people care. You kind of just have to not care
Yeah,
about talking with.
I
your
don't.
mouthful.
I can do that.
Yeah,
It's easy.
we had a guy on Tuesday,
Oh, jeez.
and
Disaster.
bad.
it was actually really nice because he actually was eating a lot. It was great, you know, because this is tough. You know, you got to almost like chipmunk it, or you kind of put it in your side of your mouth
Yep.
and get past it. But no one here cares about manners.
So what's the deal with star jumps?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what that is?
Star jumps. No, what is
That
that?
is literally Aubrey said, ask Summer to do a star jump.
Oh my gosh. It's an exercise. Okay, I know
okay.
what it
Is
is.
it literally just jumping and?
Yes. You look like a starfish and you
Okay.
jump, your arms go up.
Okay.
Where does that come from? Why did she ask that?
I put Aubrey through a workout when we went working from home.
Yeah.
We started doing virtual workout classes. And that's my background. My bachelor's degree is in
Oh,
exercise
really?
science and
Okay,
nutrition.
cool.
So I taught a couple of classes, and I made her do star jumps.
Oh my god.
And they
Like,
are
did she hate
hard.
him? Is that why she
They're
remembered it and
hard,
was
yeah.
like, I hate this?
Yeah, you look so dumb,
I bet.
but it's hard. So she hates me for that.
You should have made up something like, do bear jumps. You got to jump and like.
Do an octopus crawl.
Yeah. Something stupid just to make everybody look dumb.
I will remember that for next time.
Yeah.
So when did you guys officially? Well, let's first say
Yeah.
your current job. Where are you at right now?
I'm at Young Living.
Young Living.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Young Living,
Mm-hmm.
awesome, beautiful building in
yes.
Lehigh.
Yes, brand new.
Brand new, right?
Yep.
COVID, you know, and let's say brand new. But you finished at 19, maybe, right? Or okay, that's what I was guessing. 'cause
Yeah,
I-
we moved in 2019.
2019, COVID hits,
Yeah.
and now how many people? Well, when did you kind of start sending people home?
Yeah.
And then what's the building like now? I mean, what's going on with
Oh my gosh. So we started.
Because it's a
sending
nice.
people
I mean,
home.
again,
it's nice.
It's a big, nice building.
Yeah. So this was, I think, March 12th. So it was right before the U.S. started locking down, and we just overnight we said we've got to do something, and the decision at the executive level was to send everybody home. So the 13th, people came in, they grabbed what they needed, and they went home. And since then, we've got probably 80 people at most that are on site. And that
Okay,
includes
yeah.
like lab positions.
Yeah.
Some office positions are required to go in that have to scan and do things like that.
Is it
But-
mandatory? Or
No.
could you, if you want to go in, kind of a flexible?
So it's with restrictions lately. We've locked it down a little bit, but up to this point, it's really been as long as you can follow the state guidelines and you're safe. Then if you need to go into the office, make sure your manager knows, but you can't go in if you need to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to ask this question. Hopefully I say it right. Because I don't know. What is your Patronus?
What's
That's
your
how you
Patronus,
say
dude?
it.
Yes.
What's your Patronus?
That's
Is that
how
how
you
I'd
say
ask
it.
that? What's
Yeah,
your Patronus? Okay. What's your
Yep,
Patronus?
exactly.
Actually, two-part. What's your
Okay.
Patronus?
Yeah. What's your Patronus?
And what is the most rare Patronus?
Wow.
I had to do some research for that.
I don't remember what
For
the
those
most
that,
rare
for
is.
the couple people that might watch this podcast, just understand that's a Harry Potter reference.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. So my Patronus. Gosh, I've taken this quiz before and I can't remember.
Told you there's a quiz.
There's quizzes.
Yeah, you go on.
There's
I-
quizzes on BuzzFeed.
I was told I had to do it.
Do you know what yours is?
I don't remember, but well, okay. Let me before you answer. You can.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a couple things you find out when you take the test. One, what damn
Wand?
it.
Wand.
Gosh dang it. What kind of wand do you get?
Yep.
Right? And obviously within the wand, it tells you what it's made of. Like there might be like, I'm making this up. There might be a unicorn's tail, hair from a unicorn's tail, like inside the wand. There's cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. You get the wand, and then you get a animal. And is the animal the Patronus?
No.
Okay, the animal's not the Patronus.
The animal is what delivers your mail. So there's the owls, and then you have an animal as well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The animal, like for example, if you remember Harry Potter, his mom's animal was a doe.
So you're thinking of the Patronus.
Okay, this
Yeah.
is the Patronus. Okay,
Yes.
so it was like a doe. Remember,
Yes.
right? And I've watched all these, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not even a big Harry Potter guy. Professor Snape also had a doe,
Yes, he did.
same as Lily,
Yep.
Harry's
The
mom.
sweetest love story of all time.
Yes. Okay. So my Patronus, I'm calling, was a. I wish I remember the animal, but it was like it was a smaller cat,
Okay.
like a cat that would live in the forest.
Yeah.
And I was a little disappointed because I was hoping it'd be a little, not necessarily, not manly is not the word, just a little bigger.
Yeah.
Something
But it
big
was
to
a
represent
small,
your height and stature.
Like
yeah,
a-
yeah, it was like,
a
I mean,
bear
like, but it was
or
a small
Wolverine.
cat.
Okay.
And I could look it up, but I took the whole test and I found that out.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what was in my wand, but I do remember it was like a small cat.
Yeah, I think mine may have been an otter. Now that I'm really
Okay,
thinking about it,
yeah,
I think it
yeah.
was an otter. I kind of wish it had been like a puppy, but I think it was an otter.
An otter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And oh geez, the most rare? That's a great question. I'm gonna have
Well,
to guess.
Did you obviously
I did. I
You
Googled,
Googled
it.
this.
Yes. And the first response, I mean, I didn't go deep on this because I just didn't, was...
first page, first result?
Yes. Albatross.
Oh,
my
really?
gosh.
The most rare Patronus.
Wow.
That's actually
I
interesting.
never would have guessed that.
Because
Never.
going to a golf reference, an albatross is actually might be more rare than a hole-in-one. It might be the most rare score that you can get
Yeah.
playing golf.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically 2 strokes on a par 5. I mean, I think it's actually extremely rare.
Yeah.
Albatross. That's
Yep.
another term. Interesting.
Yep. Okay.
Just like I'm just throwing down my random knowledge. It's weird. I usually don't do this, but I knew a lot about Harry Potter.
I didn't. I've seen him, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like that word Patronus didn't even ring any bells.
Yeah.
And I've seen all the shows.
Yeah.
But anyway, do you have a favorite?
I like The Prisoner of Azkaban
Prisoner of
the
Azkaban.
most.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Prisoner of Azkaban is
That's the one with Sirius
it's
Black.
with Sirius Black, and he breaks out of prison.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know who that is? Sirius
Yep.
Black.
Yep.
Harry's uncle.
Yep.
Yeah. You always think he's such a mean dude.
Yeah.
Scary, and then
He's
he's
so nice.
just the best.
Mhm.
Then you cry when he
And then
when he dies.
Dies. Yeah. Yeah.
Another funny thing. Our employees here. So when we've hired people, we actually have a couple managers that are beyond Harry Potter fans. And they literally, it doesn't even matter who the person is, they will ask them in their job interview what their Patronus is. And they're just like, I think some people obviously have answered like, oh, yeah, I know what it
Right,
is.
right.
And it's very few, but
I love
they
that.
actually asked that.
I love that. Early on in the interview or towards the end?
I don't know what stage, but it has definitely been a part of the interview process. And we just said, hey, we signed off like, I think that's an okay question.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to throw them off,
Yep.
a lot of people. But yes, go ahead and ask them what their Patronus is.
I love
Do
that.
you get involved with the hiring?
A little bit.
That should be one of your questions.
Yeah, typically it should be. I'm gonna go taking notes. Gonna go back and
Show
add
me,
that.
show me a bear jump.
Show me
What's your Patronus?
a bear jump.
Yeah.
What would a bear jump look like? You know,
I'll show you after.
Like you've got to have the claws.
You got to
Yeah, you'd have to maybe jump. You have to be hiding.
You got to growl.
Exactly.
Find
and
something
like-
and then
it's
jump
like a
out.
jump out, not a jump up.
Yeah.
I don't know, something. Okay. So bachelor's in, was it exercise?
Exercise science. Yep.
Okay.
From?
I was going to go down
Weber
that route.
State. Yeah, Weber State University.
Wildcats.
Weber
Yep.
State.
Yeah.
Represent.
Represent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. So all my family is actually from Ogden,
Oh, okay.
long time ago. So exercise science. Did you do anything with that initially?
Not really. I did have a
Like,
little
was
bit
there
of
a
training
reason
on
you
the
chose that
side.
degree?
I loved it.
Okay.
I was obsessed with working out, nutrition, all of it. And I had thought about going to med school, and then I worked at a hospital, changed my mind. But around the same time, I thought, I need to get my bachelor's degree done.
Yeah.
So I honestly went back, looked at where I had the most credits, and finished it out there. So,
Okay. And then, so what was that after that? How did, I mean, you didn't go down that route.
yeah.
What was that? What was your first job after graduation?
Yeah. So I worked at Futura Industries in Clearfield.
Futura?
Futura Industries, they do
Okay.
aluminum extrusions.
In
And-
Whatville?
In Clearfield.
Oh, I thought you said
Up in
Clickville.
Ogden.
I'm sorry. Yes, okay,
In
Clearfield. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was manufacturing. And
Okay,
I,
what is that though? What is
an extrusion?
an aluminum,
Aluminum
extrusion?
extrusion.
Yeah,
So,
what is that?
do you remember playing with Play-Doh as a kid and they had the shapes and you could push the Play-Doh through it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's an extrusion.
Okay.
So we would create aluminum shapes for various companies.
Wow.
So if you've heard of Big Ass Fans,
Absolutely.
they were a client, and
So like the blades of the fan
actual blades, yeah,
are aluminum that, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Well, that's cool.
yeah.
What'd you do there?
So I started in HR. I was an HR assistant, and never done HR before
Because they were hiring?
because I needed insurance, and they were
Okay.
hiring.
You needed
So
insurance.
I fell into it. Totally.
They were
fell into
hiring.
this, yeah.
I'm going to take this job.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so my husband was finishing his school still and started working there. Thought it was really fun. I got to do some new hire orientations, onboarding. I helped our benefit manager with benefits orientations and things, and kind of just fell in love with it. I thought it was a lot of fun and spent a lot of time there with that. And then I moved into the benefit side with a brokerage, and
Really?
that was a lot of fun. We moved to Austin. And
You moved to Austin.
we moved to Austin for
Okay.
that.
Who was that?
My husband and I. So we moved. The company was MHBT. They're out of Dallas. They actually now they're a part of Marsh & McLennan.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know Marsh.
yeah.
Okay.
What
So-
years, give me like reference a year for me.
This was 2015.
Okay, so
Yeah.
back up. Okay, so you're a wildcat, roughly what years?
Let's see. That was 2006 to 2012.
Okay, so
Yeah.
going through school, okay.
Mhm.
And then after 12-ish
Mm-hmm.
is your first HR job?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got into it in 2013, I believe, and yeah, moved to Austin, and it was a lot of fun. That was a short stint because my husband couldn't find work there, and so he was working remotely from his company in Utah, and obviously they were like, we can't keep doing this. So he was looking there and didn't find work, so we ended up in San Diego, and that was kind of just random chance. He got a job out there, and then we moved out there, and I was part of a startup team for a casino.
You were?
Yeah, which was a ton
That's
of fun.
cool.
Yeah.
Same HR stuff?
Yep, HR. And when I started there, it was like benefits, comp, and wellness. And then it shifted into a business partner position there.
Did you, these different jobs as
Yeah.
you're bouncing around, did you start to, I don't even know what they're really called. I mean, go to kind of continuing education or like certificate type things for HR?
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't know what stage in the HR kind of career, if you don't go to school for that,
Yeah.
that you actually realize like, yeah, I love this. But you really probably should start to accumulate at least some of these extra things, right?
Yeah.
And again, I'm using the wrong terms.
Yeah, nope, I totally get that. So I was at that point, I think 3 or 4 years in, and
Yeah.
that's around. So if you don't have an HR degree, but you do have a degree, you can look at getting a certification around year 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
And so at the time, I was enrolled for my MBA, and because I had that advanced degree, I could sit for the SPHR. So I studied for that, and I actually kind of jump ahead. I got that in 2018.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you did your MBA.
Yeah, I got
Where
my
at?
MBA too from Western Governors.
Okay. Was that just online?
Yeah, it was online.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were
And
you in San Diego while you were doing that?
yes, so I actually started it before we left Utah in 2015, but I finished it in San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that in?
Um,
Anything specific?
No, nothing
Okay.
specific. It was just business administration.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you were in San Diego doing the wellness, did that get you like excited and
Yeah.
pumped, like to start using that degree a little bit more, like on the
Yeah.
nutrition side and wellness?
Oh
and-
yeah, absolutely. I think any company I've been at that's been a natural fit, people always have questions anyway.
Yeah.
So with the wellness program there, we came up with a couple of cool things. We had a couple different clubs that you could join, and you get points and different things. And by attending and being active and doing part of the wellness program, your premiums would go down in your benefits. So we had a lot of fun with that, and the organization really liked it too.
How much of your paycheck would you lose at the casino?
Oh,
Do the
man.
odds go down for employees?
Yes, absolutely.
So the house loses less. Somehow, like, these are the tables that the employees play. That would actually be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
That's like, yeah, it's like
That would
getting
be
a
cool.
discount at your store.
I know. Well, yeah. What are the discounts you're getting
Oh my
from your
gosh.
employer, from your
Right?
job? Like, yeah, you work for
It's
a
like, oh, you
clothing
work
company,
for
you
a
get
clothing
free
company,
clothes.
you get a
Yes.
discount. You
Free
work for a
chips.
casino?
Yep,
Just here's some chips.
That would actually be kind of cool.
it would be cool.
Hey, here's $100 a month in chips. Maybe
Love
you
that.
cash it out. Maybe you win.
Yeah.
Maybe you lose.
Yeah. They say you are required to gamble.
Or yeah, you're
Be
required.
interesting.
I love that.
Your contracts. Every employee is
You
required
have
to
to
go to the
sign a
tables.
contract.
Yeah.
We
That'd be
when we
cool.
were practicing, so before we opened doors, we actually did practice days where we were required to go down and play. And I've never won. Anytime I've gone gambling, I always lose. And this one day when it was fake money, I won $5,000.
Oh man.
No, on a fake
I
day.
was
Oh
so
my god.
mad. I was so mad. I pulled the slot and I won, and I felt like I was in a movie. I was like, I won!
Yeah.
Yeah. They,
And then I didn't. They just came over and they're like,
Like,
okay,
yeah.
so here's the process. And I was like,
Congrats.
where's
Huh?
my
Yeah,
money?
give me my
They
freaking
start
money.
analyzing your pupils and
Yeah.
like, all right, let's just.
She's
you
telling
didn't
the
really
truth.
win, but
Yeah.
Did you ever see any sort of financials? Like, I'm interested in like how much money a casino really
A lot of money.
they make a lot.
A lot of money.
I mean, I know they make a lot, but
I would say
Like-
most casinos are probably making hundreds of billions. It's a lot of money.
oh, so much
yeah, we
money.
should open a casino.
Let's
Hey,
do it.
I've talked about it.
Pods and
I'm
roulette.
in.
Dude.
Underground Utah Casino.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Well,
So you get
eventually,
pasta.
maybe in 100 years, this will be a casino in Utah.
Maybe.
I mean, we're barely getting.
Well, I mean, we
we're
got
barely
medical.
kinda catching up.
We got medical marijuana.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We don't have
How
recreational
does that
marijuana
correlate
yet.
to a
No.
casino?
Well, I'm just saying we're progressing. We're getting there. Baby steps,
We're-
right?
That's right. Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We'll get more transplants from different states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get some. But that'd be cool. I was, I've always enjoyed like casino movies,
Mm-hmm.
like Casino with Robert De Niro and
Yeah.
Joe Pesci, and then obviously Godfather 2 deals. They deal in the casinos.
Yeah.
Ocean's
It's
11.
fascinating.
Ocean's 11, yeah, it's a good casino movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you get the casino license. I imagine just the politics and the greed and the evilness behind like being able to get a casino license.
It's hard.
Everybody wants one
Yeah. Yeah. There's
because if you get it,
so-
you're done. Like
Yep.
you get a casino license, it's
Yep.
done. It's made.
Yep. Yeah, there's so much that goes into it. And I mean, I remember we were on, it was a Native American casino, so it was on tribal land.
Oh yeah.
And so we had to deal with the tribal ordinances, California law, and then federal law. And so we were trying to get a liquor license. And I remember that took forever because I had to go through so many different regulations to get approved.
Oh, I bet.
It was hard. But there were a few times we weren't sure if we were going to open when we said we were going to open.
Because you just like
You
you
have
got to
wait,
have a
yeah.
liquor license.
You have to wait
open.
on approvals.
Yeah.
But it was fascinating.
How many years were you there?
I was there for almost 2 years. Yeah,
And so you lived in San Diego. Like, what part of San Diego?
downtown.
So just downtown.
Awesome.
I
Yep,
love
we
that.
moved there, and we figured if we're going to live in San Diego, we're living in San Diego.
Heck yeah.
So we were, I think it was like a 10-minute walk to the harbor from our house. So
What was your
it
favorite
was
part of San Diego? One of your favorites. You kind of
Probably the food.
really,
The food.
yeah.
Yeah. There's so they have a Little Italy. They've got
Got-
great Mexican food.
Mhm.
Yes.
Some of the best. In fact, I would say the best Mexican food I've ever had was in San Diego. And I can't.
I mean, they got
remember.
Old Town, or what do they
Yeah.
call it? Like the
Yeah,
Old
it's
Town.
Old Town.
It's called Old Town, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of up on the hill.
Up on the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun city.
Oh, yeah.
We loved going to the beach every weekend. We take the dogs and just hang out. It was so nice.
Are dogs your
Miss it.
kids?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got 2
Yes.
and they're
What kind?
my little fur babies. So one is a golden retriever and a border collie mix.
Okay.
And the second one, we're not entirely sure. We foster failed her, and she is a Chihuahua mixed with what we think is a Jack Russell Terrier. So
Cool.
she's loud, she's tiny, and she's cuddly.
Perfect. Love dogs.
Yeah,
We both have dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. This is actually
A bunch of the
kind
guys downstairs have dogs.
before we moved into this office
Yeah.
with the pods and containers. We would bring everybody to bring their dogs to work. Like in our old office, there were some days there were 6 dogs at the office.
That's like my dream come
It,
true.
it was so cool, and, because everybody, smaller company. I mean, there's like 20 employees, right? But and everybody's responsible, and
Right.
the dogs really got along, and it didn't get dirty, it didn't get messy,
Yeah.
and
So-
but it was actually quite fun. Like we had those many dogs, it was really fun.
Did you have to have rules and things? Because I'm in HR.
Yes.
I love
Yeah,
dogs.
give me
I'm
any-
constantly looking for ways that I can make it happen.
I don't know.
Yeah, is this an initiative that you're trying to like?
It's
You kept
always
it.
always an initiative I want to do.
There were honestly no rules,
Man.
except
I mean, all the dogs
clean
are pretty,
up the poop.
Yeah.
Like because
Right.
you take it outside, you got poop. We got to clean it up
Right.
because obviously we just leased the building.
Right.
We didn't want to get in trouble with the landlord or
Right.
whatever, like the maintenance guys, and that was probably the only rule we had. I mean, besides just everybody would chip in and maybe take care of the dog. If you go out to lunch or
Right.
whatever, just
Yeah.
your dog gets to hang out. And then it was interesting. He had his crate, the dog crate. I had
Yeah.
my own crate. So there was like when we would leave, we would crate them up.
Okay.
And I guess it wasn't necessarily a rule, but it only made sense that your dog was a crate trained dog. That you put it in and it was just quiet. Even if they could be right next to each other and never be barking. No, not loud, but. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of what were the rules. I don't know if we really had any rules. It
Well,
just
I mean-
it just seemed to work.
all the dogs got
That's so
along, which
nice.
was helpful because
Yeah.
there wasn't a dog that was like a dick, that
Right.
could come in and
Oh,
be
yeah.
a jerk to everybody.
Actually, our account Kathleen had 2 dogs at the time. Anna had 2 dogs at the time. Ben had a dog. Me and you had a dog. I had 7. Derek had 2 dogs,
Two.
2 pups, and then even
Wow.
Richard had it for like a few months. He had a
And
bloodhound,
Blake got his while he was there too.
and then Blake had his. Too.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Oh
was
my
like there were some
gosh.
days it was amazing. It would be like it'd be a movie like Homeward Bound. You could just send them outside, and they might take off together
Yeah.
and start exploring the world. It was
Yeah.
just. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's my
I
dream.
don't know if that helps you because
It
It
doesn't.
really probably doesn't.
You
yes.
didn't give me anything,
No,
but it
yeah, that's
sounds
not-
amazing. Yeah,
But-
everywhere I've worked, there's no dogs, which makes sense. I've worked in a lot of
Yeah.
manufacturing.
a
and-
casino. Might be
right.
tough.
But at the same time, maybe it would help people spend more money.
You know what you need to do is get your dog. I don't know the process. Get him like authorized to be like
An emotional
an
support.
emotional support.
I would. Mine are so my bigger dog is beyond hyper. He loves people. He loves to hug people. So I think that the moment that I took him out, people would know he wasn't.
Yeah,
They'd be like, "Get that dog
No,
out of
no.
here."
but it's your emotional support.
True. This is
Yeah,
true.
That's like typically
It
there
would
for
probably give me anxiety.
kind of more
He's-
reserved.
He's so happy. But
The Hotel Monaco.
yeah.
I think is it Monaco that has the Bombara restaurant downtown?
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
They're actually a hotel and a very, very dog-friendly hotel. I don't know if you could learn something from
I don't know
them
if I knew that.
somehow. But when our dog was a pup, we just stayed overnight, and I happened to be on the phone with them or something. And they said, yeah, we're very dog friendly. I'm like, oh, really? I could bring my pup? Like, absolutely. And I mean, when they come in, they take pictures of your dog. They got like
Oh
dog
my gosh,
treats,
wow.
and then I think they do have some rules. But it's interesting because you're just downtown, you know, and
Right.
like where do you got to take your dog on a walk and clean up after him? But I don't know. They seem to have it figured out, and they just that's just one of their things.
I
So,
love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I wish more places were like that in Utah
Yeah.
and in general.
Just kind of you decide that's what you're gonna do, and then you figure it out.
Yep.
I have one lady that I work with. We're not a dog-friendly office, but for Halloween, whatever her costume is, her dog is always an accessory.
Mm-hmm.
So every year on Halloween, she brings her dog in because it's a part of her
It's
costume,
part of the
right?
costume.
Right.
Oh,
In
I get
quotes.
that.
Oh yeah, kind of
It's a
get
part
away
of
with it. Get away with
Yeah.
it. or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you just need to do that.
I've seen
At
that
least
done.
once a year.
I've seen that done. Yeah, I've seen that done. That's a good idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Be like, bring the
You'd
dog
almost
in
have
as
to
part of that.
design the office, like before you
Around
build the
the
office
dog.
around. So you have like a middle courtyard area or
Yes,
something,
so you can go
and
to the
that's like this
bathroom.
is our dog park, or the rooftop is conducive to like the dog park or something.
Yeah.
But then like kind of deciding after the fact, maybe building your building, that'd probably be a little difficult.
That would be fun though if you had a courtyard in the middle
Yeah,
and you could let the dogs run around.
yeah.
Have you seen the memes or the gifs of dogs that are like licking the windows with their
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
That's what I'm imagining. Like
That
you're in the
would
middle
be-
of a meeting and some dogs just
It's
licking
just
the
there,
window.
Just licking your window, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what was after San Diego?
So after San Diego, we moved back here for my husband's job, and I got a job with
Same job, though?
different company.
Different company, okay.
Different company. So same field. So he's always been in farmer research. And so we were in San Diego. He was working a ton of hours, and we wanted to spend more time together, wanted to see him. So he started looking in San Diego, didn't find anything. And then something popped up in Utah. We didn't plan on coming back here, and then it worked out. So we moved back here, and then I got a job with Ultradent. And
Ultradent.
Ultradent,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
We had Mr.
Cool.
Mr. Allsup on
Yep.
a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Did you work with him?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, David recruited me.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was on, I don't know, a month ago or so.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Love David. He's a good guy. Yeah, so I worked there. I was their international HR business partner, and then I oversaw their HRS, and did a lot of good things there too. It's a good company.
Did you get to travel being on
I
the
did.
international side?
I did travel.
Okay.
So I actually traveled with David too. I traveled to Germany, Italy, and France, Brazil, and then Japan and China.
Wow.
So-
Okay.
Lot.
That's a good
That's
good
a nice
start.
That's a nice
Yeah.
gig right there.
Yeah.
So with about the HRS, is that when you said you manage that? Is that kind of what does that entail? Like, is there usually somebody if you have a decent team?
Mm-hmm.
Is there usually just like kind of one person on the team that manages the software?
Yeah.
And that is just a designated. All right, your task. You're kind of our rep here for anything dealing with the software.
Yeah.
Is that a pain? Is that kind of a is that a tough job or what's the insider kind
Yeah.
of vibe for that?
I mean, tough in that there's a lot that you have to manage,
Uh-huh.
and from a security standpoint, you have to make sure that people can't access other people's files that shouldn't be. But for the most part, when I came in, the system was already built, so I really had to just maintain it and then look at ways to improve it.
Yeah.
The implementation of the HRIS software is a lot.
Yeah. Have you ever been involved of a switch?
Yep. So we actually implemented Workday at Young Living last year around the same time.
Yeah.
And so when I started there, we had just started the implementation process. So it's a lot of work. You have weekly meetings with whoever the system salesperson is, the
Yeah.
account executive, and then you have an implementation team that helps you set up the system. So it's a lot of work. I didn't do it from the HRIS standpoint at Young Living.
Yeah.
We had someone else do that, and I mean, he was amazing, which was helpful. He'd been through multiple implementations. But even just to manage it, I mean, it's a lot of work. You want to make sure that it's operational, but also that it's intuitive for leaders, intuitive
Yeah.
for employees. So we were in there. We had weekly meetings on different ways that we could update it and make it better.
Yeah. I was kind of I always try to imagine, like for example, when you switch from, let's say, something to Workday, right? That those companies, it's kind of, I mean, it's like weeks and weeks or months of just pain when when you're switching, because there's so much to migrate, right? And they're like, okay, and you got to work together. You know we're leaving, but you still got to help us out.
Right.
And I always wondered if those companies like HR softwares, they purposely make it really difficult for companies to leave
To get out, yeah.
because that's just a hook. Like you got to keep a hook in them to stay, and it's just such a pain and so long to leave.
Yeah.
They probably don't. I mean, they probably don't purposefully say,
Right.
let's make it so shitty for people to leave. that they just understand, like, there's no way we're going to ever switch. We might not
Right.
like it, but we're never switching.
Right.
But I was just the internal aspect of you got to work with a company. They know you're leaving, and you're in the
for
HR,
sure.
and it's just a
For
little
sure.
awkward
You're
or
like,
whatever.
hey,
and,
so we need
like,
your help
are they willing to
again.
help us out all the time just so we can switch to Workday? Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's nature of the beast, right?
Yeah. For sure. No, that's a good thought though. I mean, I would think if it were me, I would.
Yeah, you'd be like,
I'd be
dude.
like, no,
Yeah, let's-
checked out.
Let's
Yeah,
make
no,
it so
it'd be-
hard.
You're going somewhere else.
Yeah, you're leaving?
Best of luck.
Yeah, it's like,
So
oh,
that-
you're leaving. We have a team of one that helps
Right.
all of our clients on their transitional leave. So then it's just, yeah, it takes a year.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Workday is that. So Workday's now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you guys you enjoy it? It's worked out well.
Yeah, I love Workday.
Yeah.
Workday is, I don't know who said this, but Workday is kind of like the Ferrari of HRIS systems.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain to maintain as far as configurations go. It's on the back end, there's a lot of work that goes into making it as easy as it is for managers and employees.
Yeah.
But it's a great system. It is easy to use. It's easy to navigate into people's profiles. If you have a change as a manager, you want to go in and give somebody a raise, you can go in and initiate it. So there's a lot of pros to Workday for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's probably boring. I mean, boring topic. I was just curious.
What if you wanted to change it?
What if you wanted to change the
What
system?
if you wanted to? Yeah.
Oh,
Like how many hoops? Like who?
yeah.
Like,
Who would have to be like, hey,
How
no,
would I go about that?
how
Not
how
happening.
loud
Ours
do
is
you
like-
have to be?
Oh, you'd have to be real loud.
You'd have to
Yeah,
be
I mean, it's an expensive system, and because it does so much, it is hard to walk away from a system like Workday.
Seems like it has to naturally almost occur where everybody starts chiming in like, dude, Workday.
Yeah.
If Workday was
Yeah.
bad.
Like if it wasn't the right fit.
so all of a
for the
sudden,
company.
just over months, you just start hearing the rumblings like, dude, it's so
Yeah.
bad. Like,
Yeah.
all right, let's start looking.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I mean, that just always interests me because a lot of people, because you're director, right?
Yeah.
Director of HR.
Yep.
A lot of individuals claim to be that person.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, I can do whatever I want.
No way.
No way.
That's why I was just curious because a lot of you know what I mean. Like a lot of people are like,
No,
oh
no,
yeah,
no.
let's do this, let's talk, let's
No.
chat. Oh, we're gonna do this, but when it
Well-
comes down, I mean,
Yeah.
I just wonder if like because Workday is so integrated, it seems like with you guys,
It
it's been
is.
awesome. Like if
Yeah.
you said, I got a problem
See,
with that, I
we're
want
both
to change
sales
it. Is everybody
guys.
gonna be like, bullshit? You're not gonna change it. This is staying here.
I mean, I would think, yeah, because there's a lot of opinions, right? And so there definitely would have to be some change management that happened there. I'd have to go in and explain why,
Yeah.
and it'd have to
Yeah.
make sense. But
Yeah.
Yeah, on the sales side, like we're both sales guys.
yeah,
And I mean, obviously you learn this fairly quick when you're dealing with, HR, who we usually sell to. That, like, okay, the first year, couple people maybe you talk to, they are definitely not the
Right.
decision maker. I mean, they're
Right.
not going to be.
you're
the
getting in the door.
Yeah, you're getting in the door, and then you got to find kind of the black swan. Of
And
the,
I don't
of the
mean, yeah,
group.
sorry, I didn't mean to say like you're not a decision maker. I'm just
No,
because
she
obviously
is the
when
director.
you hold that position, I mean you have a lot of say in
Mm-hmm.
what goes on. I just curious as to because I mean there's so many different levels and
Yeah.
internal politics and stuff and how things work.
But dude, people do say that. People are they kind of make you believe like, yeah, this is my project.
This is it.
I'm in charge of it. But
Yeah.
really what it is like I just have been tasked to look at different vendors. I have no say.
Right,
I mean, I can give them my opinion, but then it's really just like that's about it.
right.
But yeah, it's my experience. Not
yeah.
with everybody, but
No, but you see it.
You kind of
You see
expect that.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you're going to have to get the buy-off of the CFO, just because of the cost. So,
Yeah.
Even if I felt like it was my decision, it would.
Do you feel like that's tough internally, where you just the CFO is not a CFO of HR. The CFO probably doesn't even know the even the importance of the value of the human capital side sometimes in the company.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they're good, smart people, they probably just grasp the concept of certain things, but
Yeah.
they're just like, no, I'm going to do hiring freezes and approve budgets, and and then is it all just come down to the budget or the numbers, or do they actually even care? Like, is this going to help us? Or
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
I've worked with both. I think that we're fortunate now that we do have someone that cares about the employees, which is helpful. But I think it's probably easier for me because my mindset always goes to the numbers anyway.
Yeah.
So it's an easier connection to go, this is how it will help employees, this is how it will help the business, but this is why the cost matters, and this is why we
Here's
should
the
do
bottom.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you have to change the way you communicate
Depending on
with
the
the
person.
CFO?
I don't know that I would need to with the CFO. I think in general you probably do, but I think that's usually where I gravitate towards naturally.
Okay.
But I think with whoever your audience is, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of people, there's always like this conversation of a seat at the table.
Yeah.
And we've just had a few people say, it's just when you're speaking to a CEO, you're going to be speaking differently than you would to a CFO,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just in sense of
Mm-hmm.
what you're talking
Of the
about. So I was just
priority,
curious with your CFO, if you feel like you have to kind of change the way that you speak and navigate through those conversations when you're having, hey, we got to implement Workday.
Right.
Does he care about why, or is it just like, it's going to cost X amount of dollars? Can we do it? Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No, I mean, he's definitely going to want to understand why.
Yeah.
But I think that most of our executives want to understand why. How is this going to help the business? How's it going to help the people? And then we talk through the numbers.
Yeah. Okay.
and what's been your perspective over the years of this? Women in the workforce. Obviously, higher percentage of women are in HR
Yeah.
than men, and just again, I mean, you get to the point where you are, whatever the title may be, vice president HR or director of HR, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
where it just your perspective of being like almost heard, or again this term, seat at the table.
Yeah.
I always when I hear that, I kind of picture it in like the reality is like, yeah, there is a table in companies' offices,
Right.
and those meetings are held in a conference room.
Right.
And do you, if you're actually in the meeting around this table, do you pay attention to, taken serious? I mean, obviously this does happen.
Right.
And it's got to happen probably a little bit more if there was a director of HR that may be a male versus a female. But I'm just curious, like your experience, I mean, because you've been in different states,
Yeah.
totally different type of companies.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to speak to that, but we're always super curious on
Yeah.
the perspective of that. Really, women in the workforce, especially women in HR,
Mhm.
seat at the table with execs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, that's
Is that
an interesting question.
It is. Yeah.
I would say, I think that I've been fortunate to have both male and female leadership that's really supportive. And so I think that that's been something that I've been blessed with, because I feel like I'm able to go in and have a seat, but also have someone who will back me up.
Mhm.
And I don't know that, whether this could happen to anybody, but if you're a woman going into that scenario, if you don't have that, I think that can be harder, regardless of where you are,
Yeah.
regardless of the state. But I will say that, there have been places that I've lived that have been easier than
Yeah.
others, for sure. Absolutely. And I think that that's just because there are more women in the workforce in different areas.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we. It's just. Yeah, I mean, it's always been. I think it's come up almost about half the time. We've had conversations,
Yeah.
whether it's a male director, or female, whatever. That it's always just such a. You want it to be absolutely, and I don't know if fair is the right word. You want respect, and you want people that maybe are your boss
Yep.
to actually treat you just like a human.
Yeah.
And to listen and actually care about what you say and care about their employees,
Yeah.
and not just they might, hopefully they're not sitting there like they don't know it, but they just treat you differently because
Right.
you're a woman.
Yeah.
And but it's, I don't know. I've never been in those situations, honestly. And but we always hear that it's always good. There's progress. Good things are happening. You know, I mean, just getting to the point where it wasn't how it was, you know, who knows, 10, 20, 30 years ago. But seems like people have mentioned to us, I don't know if you feel the same way, Danny, that, it is definitely changing for the better.
It is.
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Right? If we say we aren't there yet,
right.
we're not. But we are getting,
it's gotten a lot.
Yes, it's gotten
I think people are more aware than ever. And that's whether that's a female, whether that's a person of color, whoever that person is. I think companies are more aware. And so that's the first step, knowing that there's maybe not an issue is the right word, but maybe there's a gap.
Yeah, a gap.
And then you can
there's
focus
a topic,
on that.
it's a discussion. You don't just talk, but you take action.
You take action. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
How do you feel about the term disrupt?
Yes. Disrupt.
Oh, disrupt.
Disrupting human resources. Disrupting human
resources.
capital. I won't say my opinion. What do you think about the term?
Oh, I would love to hear your opinion.
Your second? We'll hear your second.
I'll share mine first, and you can go next.
That's fine.
So,
but I want to hear.
I would love to hear it. Yeah. I think that the term disrupt is overused. I think maybe it's misunderstood as well.
Okay.
I think that, when I first heard the term used, I think in my mind I was thinking, you're on the ground doing something that no one's ever done before. Well, humans are humans, and we've evolved, but we all have pretty much the same needs. And so that's changed a little bit, but the ways that you support employees, yes, that's changed, but I don't feel like you necessarily need to disrupt what you're doing, enhance, maybe gather some feedback, change a little bit, but I think when it comes to disrupting, I think it gets overused a lot. And if you focus on small wins over time, that's going to make a bigger impact than trying to make one big disruption into the workforce.
Okay. You clapped.
I second that, yeah.
Yeah, second.
Well, I think it's very overused. It's just like you see so much shit on LinkedIn about I'm disrupting and we're going to disrupt the workforce and human resource.
Well,
like, what does that mean? What are you doing different? What are you doing so different that your company is going to be like, holy shit.
Right. You are disrupting.
This is such a disrupt. I love this disruption.
Well, they would never say that either. I mean, I would never be in a meeting with executives and they would be like, this is a disruptive idea. Yeah. Way to go.
Well, because my opinion is, you have like the group, right? I mean, they set up their little, I don't know, you call it a franchise or whatever it is,
the conference of Disrupt HR.
Conferences, and they're expanding different cities of
which is a great idea.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Because getting together and talking about ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
But I also think that's not just specific. I mean,
but the word itself to me is negative.
Yeah.
Disruption isn't. I don't think when I first hear that, I always think, well, that's not necessarily. It can maybe you spin it to be a positive thing,
right.
but I always feel like no one wants to be disrupted.
Right.
Yeah. If you want to
disrupt, it just immediately disruption. You go on edge. And you're like, what the hell are you doing? Like,
right.
If I'm reading a book,
it's like you're being backed into a corner.
Disruption.
Comes in, I don't want you. What the hell are you doing? You're bugging me.
Yeah.
If you say that enough, it sounds like disruption. That sounds like such a stupid word. Disruption.
Disruption.
It seems like they could pick a better word, and maybe they don't really mean like it opposite. We know they don't mean it in a negative way.
Maybe we should start our own. It'll be enhance HR.
Well, it's like innovate or just like, what's a simple way? I mean, it's change for the good.
Right.
It's changing, helping people.
Yeah.
And when you say people, it could be employees or it could be shareholders.
Right.
It could be executives.
Whoever your clients are. Yeah.
Clients.
Yeah.
Your clients. But it's interesting. I just have been on the end, and you, Danny, you have of kind of somebody that thought they were just innovated, like a leader in the disruption of HR.
Yeah.
And they ended up doing this really weird thing when we were bidding on a client, and it was extremely odd. It was uncomfortable. It wasn't completely negative, but
Yeah.
in my opinion, it was a flop. I mean, it was just total. It wasn't a good. The outcome. You could have just done you could have picked a vendor. It was this weird way to pick a vendor. They could have just picked the vendor that they wanted without like doing what they did. It's a long story, but I don't know. Like I've been on the end of this. I want to disrupt and change and do things solely different, and I didn't think it was a good thing at all.
Yeah, I mean, I get the concept because I think that, if you look at, and I've seen this myself, you have HR from, really like the 50s up to maybe early 2000s. And it's very administrative, it's very responsive, you're not proactive. And so that's when that business partnership came into play. And I think that's where, and again, I'm making assumptions here, but I think that's where the disrupt came from was let's disrupt this belief that HR is an administrative function that can't partner with the business leaders to identify areas proactively that can drive success to the bottom line using their people. But I agree with you. I think that it's more about innovating. It's more about change management. It's more about getting ahead of the business needs than disruption.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
What do you think, dude? Like a way to disrupt, which is kind of a great thing, is adopting the mental wellness aspect of stuff. We actually had James Hadlock. I don't know if you know James Hadlock.
I do, yeah.
Amazing human. Great story. But, he owns a company that deals with the employee employee executives, everybody in the company.
Yep.
Mental wellness and health. And, and it's something where I think it's obviously been tried for decades and decades and decades.
Yeah.
But I think it's evolving into a kind of a cooler, better thing, a different thing.
Yeah.
But that's something too, where instead of just like maybe we've done these processes internally for 40 years, they have to be wrong, and we got to change it up. That's not necessarily the mindset, right? It could just be adding an element.
Oh, absolutely.
That then. That's a kind of disruptive.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And at that point, I think, like you said, mental health now, maybe more than ever, is really important to employees. They want to know that you care about them as an entire human being. So I like that a lot. I think that you're going to see a shift into 2021 and beyond where companies are starting to focus on programs that address mental health specifically outside of EAPs and pushing people to go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
Especially after COVID.
Yeah,
COVID's exposed people's stresses.
Yeah.
A lot of emotions.
Anxieties
that's just, it's been an interesting
it's been a rough
experiment.
Year. It's been a rough year for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, they, just side note, the FDA approved the vaccine yesterday.
Okay. Yes, I did read that.
Yeah.
They didn't say, I thought it was going to be for first responders initially.
Yeah.
They didn't say that, at least the article that I read. But I wonder if that will at least bring a calm among the. I think that it would.
We're getting some small wins here, right?
Be shitty is that you're going to have a bunch of people that are like, I'm waiting to see what the long-term side. Like people are still going to be weary and uneasy.
Absolutely.
But hopefully, overall, it's like okay, 2020.
But if you look at it, it's just regardless of maybe the argument on the science.
Right.
These are the vaccine's a big win. It's not a small win.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying it just helps people that maybe work from home, right, and they're freaking out, or you don't know that, and they would rather be at the office,
right?
But they're forced to be at home or something, right?
Right.
But hopefully these small wins, they can focus on that and be like, okay, holy crap, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
They're not gonna totally just explode inside their house because they can't. It's funny. We actually had can't remember the name of the person who was on, but they actually, just one experience of employees, they had an employee quit because they were all virtual.
Yeah.
Talk desk.
Yeah.
Right? And it was a good experience, but they just had something like, I have to go to the office. They ended up getting a job where they could go into the office.
Yeah.
And that was just one interesting kind of story of somebody that actually quit because it was all virtual work from home after COVID hit, and they really needed human interaction. They ended up getting a job that they could go into the office.
Have you guys had any experiences like that where people are like, I got to come in. Let me come in.
I mean, we have a little bit, but again, we've allowed, like, if you need to come into the office, if it makes your life easier, you really have been able to for the most part.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we've had that many people quit because they want that interaction. We're unique because we really only have the one office building. And then we have our call center, but then we have distribution, so people are on site. And then the same thing with our farms. So it depends on the employee population. But with the employees that have worked from home, I think the bigger question is, long term, are we going to be able to do kind of what we want? Is there flexibility? Are we going to come back full time? We miss people, but we also like the flexibility of working from home.
Yeah.
So we haven't had anybody quit that I'm aware of just to be able to have that interaction.
Probably rare.
I would
Yeah.
think so.
But it was just, I wonder if more people, they don't pull the trigger like maybe this
Yeah.
individual did, but they do think like, dang, I cannot wait.
Oh,
To
I'm
get
sure.
back in and like
I'm
just
sure.
be around my coworkers and,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
bet.
even if like, I can't wait to get my free lunch once a week or, I mean, just name it, whatever
just
the
whatever
company's
was
doing. But,
normal, yeah.
yeah.
Water cooler talk.
Yep.
How many farms do you guys have?
Around the world?
Yeah.
My gosh, we have a lot of partner farms too. We have got over 25, I believe. We've got a lot.
How many in Utah?
How many in Utah?
Yeah.
We've got one in Mona,
Yes.
and then we've got the other two I think are in Idaho and Wyoming.
Okay.
So I think it's just the one.
Do you guys do anything like with marijuana farm? Like, do you guys have like oils and stuff that have like CBD and
We have
stuff in
CBD
them?
oils, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I can't remember where that one's out of. We just acquired, the company was Nature's Ultra, so now they're within Young Living, and
Okay.
they're one of our products.
Okay.
But yeah, we
Cool.
launched that last year.
Has that gone up?
Oh my gosh.
That
They
industry?
go crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
CBD.
yeah. People love it. People
Yeah.
love it. I see it everywhere.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know. I think
Um,
I hope, I mean, I've done CBD like oils and balms and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I really can't quantify in my own life, like, has it actually fixed or improved? But I'm convinced it does.
Yeah.
Why am I convinced it does? I have no idea. Because it's a loose, like, it comes from marijuana, and marijuana has been like illegal, and maybe I've always wanted to like consume marijuana, and then I don't, and then CBD oil now is like, oh
So
my gosh, dude, I
mentally-
gotta rub it on my skin, dude. It's got to do something.
Gotta be.
I mean, I'm sure there's scientific studies,
Right,
but dude,
right.
CBD, I'm all about the CBD oil.
It's funny.
Yeah.
My old man, a couple years ago, got bit by a dog
Okay.
up in Oregon, and they were staying up there with his friends, and his friend that he's staying with is a chemist,
Yeah.
and he does like all of his own. He makes these concoctions and balms and all this stuff, and a lot with marijuana.
Yeah.
And so he got bit by this dog. I mean, it was just a gnarly. Didn't get stitches or anything, but this guy
Yeah.
made him this concoction, gave him this balm. He put it on, and like, no pain. It healed quickly, no scars. And from there, he was just like,
Wow.
he was
He's
all about it.
all about it.
Yeah.
So like, he had surgery like on his back and his knees before. So after, he's rubbing everything on his knees and
Yeah.
back, dude. And he just like,
It fixes
same
everything.
thing. He's just like, I love it.
Yeah.
It makes
The
everything better.
CBD lace. I want like the Ben Gay laced with CBD. I'm sure there's got to be something because then it feels like it's doing something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like warming up your joint.
right.
He's like, okay, they
It's
guaranteed.
working.
There's guaranteed
sure that exists.
aspirin, like I don't know, something.
You
There's-
got to
I
get
mean,
Young
there
Living
does.
on top of that. There's a market right
There's got to
here.
be
There
something.
is. There's
You
gotta
probably
be.
have something that's
There's gotta be.
yeah, just like your little oil you rub on. You know what that story reminds me of? Seinfeld. Do you a Seinfeld
Which
fan?
one?
Yeah. I
'Kay.
am. Which episode?
Kramer sneaks in a chai latte, talking about that earlier, into a movie. And he's walking over there, and funny enough, they had this discussion earlier. If Jerry had murdered somebody, would Kramer turn him in? And Kramer said, absolutely. And they get in this funny discussion. So anyway,
Yeah.
he sits down in his seat, and his hot coffee spills all over him because he just so dumb. It's in his pants. He's trying to sneak it in. And then like Jerry turns him in. He's like pointing at this guy. He's like, yeah, he's drinking a little coffee. And then he gets ripped out. So then he goes and sees an attorney. The attorney says, the cap or the top was faulty. We're going to sue the coffee company because the coffee, it wasn't that it was too hot, but the coffee maker. So then he
Yeah.
gets this huge burn on his side. And he's got a buddy that gave him this Chinese balm. Right? And he actually was going into the settlement,
Yeah.
and he put the Chinese balm on, and it
Yeah.
healed the burn. And the attorney was pissed because he
Like,
just
did I
said,
tell you to put the bomb on?
No, did I tell you
Put
put
the
the bomb
bomb
on?
on.
Yeah.
Did I tell you
He
to put the
said,
bomb on?
Jackie Childs is actually the name of the
Yes,
attorney, right?
yep.
And they go in, and anyway, they showed the clip of the coffee makers saying, all right, we're going to offer him $50,000 or like $150,000, lifetime coffee, all this stuff,
Yes.
right? And so I think he walks into the room, and they stand up and say, and they're worried because there's no way if there's no burn, so there's no proof.
Yeah.
And they stand up and he says, all right, Mr. Kramer, we're going to offer you lifetime coffee. And he just says, I'll take it. And so before they even get a chance to say, and $150,000, anyway, the balm, there must have been this Chinese balm on Seinfeld, healed, just reminded me of your dad. That is a long story, Seinfeld story. So anyway,
Yes.
sometimes don't put the balm on.
Don't put the balm on.
Just depends.
Do you think that there is, this is a loaded question,
Okay.
a problem within HR? Like, what problems are you facing that you
Yeah.
have to deal with that you feel is probably a problem that most people in the human capital space are probably dealing with?
Oh, wow. Well, I think that with 2020 added on, I think that there's a couple big things. There's how do we keep our employees safe with all things COVID? Do we bring them back? How do we bring them back? And that weighs heavily on every HR professional I know.
Have you guys had conversations about the vaccine? It's like, if before you can come back, you have to get the vaccine. Have you guys had those conversations?
We have not had those conversations
Do you
yet.
think you'll have those conversations?
Oh man, I don't think we will where I'm currently at. I think that you'll see that.
Yeah.
But me myself, I don't know that I will. But I think that will be. I think again that ties into COVID. I think that will be something that weighs heavily on HR. I think the other thing too is we had talked about this earlier, but mental health. That more than ever is popping up, and people are bringing concerns to HR. They're bringing, I need help. What do I do? And I think that that's an area that we, as an industry, we really need to look at. There's not a lot of resources out there.
Yeah.
And so I think people are trying to get creative with ways to address that. But that's something that's been weighing heavily on my mind is how do we go into 2021 making people feel like they are valued with leaders, making sure that they're appreciating them and recognizing them. Because, we see the Zoom fatigue, we see all of that. And I think now more than ever, people want to hear thank you. They're not around people. They're not getting that interaction. So that's been something that we've been talking through as we look into next year is how do we make sure that we have employees taken care of from that perspective.
Yeah.
So I think I think as a whole there's a couple of things. I think the HR, the age-old question that will continue is how do we continue to have a voice at the table? How do we have a seat at the table? How do we help leaders see the value of proactively partnering with us before a problem happens?
Right.
So I think that's something that we have to work through every day, and that's where that partnership comes in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen any firsthand problems like dealing with mental health? As much as you can talk about, right? Like numbers I know this is California, a different state, but
Yeah.
it used to be like in LA, like an officer would get a call for a suicide like once a week, and now it's
Right.
like 5 a week.
Right.
Have you dealt with it firsthand of a lot more issues this year surrounding mental health issues?
Yeah, we have. We've had a handful of employees that have needed extra assistance, and it's something that I think it's kind of a double-edged sword. On one hand, I'm glad that employees are feeling like they can bring these up to us because, there are resources out there that they may not be aware of that we can help them with. On the other hand, it's heartbreaking as a person to see someone struggling that much and only be able to help to a certain extent.
Yeah.
There's so many external factors, especially with this year, that have played into it.
Right.
And I think that, overall, people are feeling more anxious. Depression has gone up. We know this. There's just statistics that show that. And so I think that, within our own employee population, we are focusing on educating leaders on how to manage that. If your employee comes to you and says, hey, I'm really struggling, where does your role play into that with coming to HR, providing resources? They obviously feel comfortable coming to you. So you do play a part, but what does that look like? So that's been our focus, is trying to make sure that everyone that can impact that employee experience has the tools necessary to be able to provide resources to help them.
Yeah.
How many employees do you guys have?
We have over 3,000 across the globe. Yeah,
That's
a lot.
That's a lot.
it's a lot.
Where are you guys at? Like, what other countries?
Oh my gosh, we have
You don't have
got
to
a lot
name
of
all of
countries.
them.
I'll give you regions. How about that?
That
We're in every
works.
we're in every region.
Every region.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got markets in Malaysia, in Europe, Brazil, Canada, you name it.
Who's considered an employee? Because do you have like people who are like W-9 that
Yeah.
are just slinging away? You know what I mean? Like
3,000 employees, but how many reps?
Oh man, in the millions.
Okay.
So we've
So
got
millions of reps.
Yeah.
and
So
then
it's
actual employees is
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have our distributors who are like our external sales force,
Yeah.
and that's in the millions.
Kind of rep. That,
Yep, they're
like
like
when I
a
say
rep.
rep, you're talking
Yep.
a distributor.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And we call them members. So we've got millions of members, and then employees are actual employees that are paid by Young Living. Yes, we've got a little over 3,000.
That's awesome. The call center's in a different building.
Yeah, the call center's down in American Fork.
Is it the old like Cal Ranch or something building?
I
or
think so.
something weird like
I think
that.
so. Yeah, it's next to I think it's an AutoZone or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like an all-you-can-eat sushi joint.
Yes.
Right by there.
There is.
How do I remember that, dude?
Yeah,
It's actually
there
kind of good. Well, it's good for like crappy sushi. Anyway.
late night.
Yeah.
I need something to eat. Sushi.
Hangover
Yeah.
sushi.
It's actually, where the Kitchen 88
Yep.
Yes.
food.
It's right. Yeah, it's
It's
right
just
there.
right by there.
Okay.
If you remember.
Yeah.
You gotta
Oh,
know
yeah.
what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why I brought that up. I just knew that that you'd have a call center, but it wasn't in the building, like in your new awesome building. It was
No,
kind of
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's down the road.
yeah. Like lights off, cockroaches, you just like stick all these sales guys and call center in
Exactly,
this
yeah.
crappy warehouse. No, I'm just
Yeah,
teasing.
all the lights
It's a
are
great
off.
place. No, I'm teasing.
No,
No, it's
a
awesome.
great
I've been
building.
there
It's
because
up
there's a
there,
guy.
yep.
A guy there I used to try to chat it up with and sell for years. Jeff Terry.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if he's still at the company.
He's not.
Yeah, dude, he was a hard nut to crack. I tell you. His office was actually in that building.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
a
tried
cool
to schmooze him,
building.
dude, and talk to him, and man, he was tough.
What happened?
No thanks.
He was just like stone faced. So I had no idea where you'd stand with the guy. I know he was really good at his job, or
Yeah.
at least he seemed like it. But I think when it came to sales guys, just a little hard nut. Jeff Terry. I think that was his
Too
name. I
funny.
hope that's his name.
It's too funny.
Not that there be many people listening, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this guy.
Where do you want HR to go?
Oh.
Like,
You
what's
know,
your ideal
yeah. I would-
disruption?
My disruption, my disruptive idea. I think that if HR could partner better with operations and be more business minded, I would love to see more HR professionals have MBAs. I think it's helpful to have the HR degree, absolutely, but get the MBA too, because it helps you understand a level of
Understand
business.
like their side a little bit more, right? That
Exactly.
operations.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like
That's a great
I would
point.
absolutely love it if HR was able to work hand in hand with operations and understand the business enough that when it came to strategic decisions on the business side, the HR could sit there and go, you know what, I understand this enough. I can tell you we need to look at retention of this area, and here's why.
Yeah.
Or we need to focus on engagement for this group because that initiative is going to cause them to feel like they're not appreciated, or their productivity is going to go down by this %, and be able to really be in the room and understand it to that level. I would love that. I think that would probably make the most difference for HR.
Disruption.
Disruption.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom. That's a great point, actually. I've never thought about that.
I find that hard to believe.
Disruptor. Awesome. Well, you've been great.
Thanks for having me. This is
We're not.
fun.
I mean, we're not done. We have some other stuff. We have some other stuff we're gonna do.
I'm
Kind
good
of
with
wrap
that.
it up.
We're just
Few
going
minutes here with
to-
some- yeah.
We're just gonna change lanes here.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm ready.
So a couple things. One, the first thing is I have 3 songs.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the lyrics.
Oh my gosh, I'm horrible at this game.
It's hard.
It doesn't mean I'm not giving you the tune by
All
any
right,
means,
all
so
right.
it makes
He's
it even
not singing
worse.
it, which would help. I wish you would sing it.
I don't. You wish that I wouldn't either. 'cause,
I don't know. I'm really bad at this game.
So we'll do that, and then we'll get to
Okay.
our last part.
Okay.
So I went back. This is 2008.
Okay.
I was like,
College
okay, I went
years?
back.
Oh, man.
I
All
went
right.
back. I did. That's why I had to look at your LinkedIn profile. I said, okay,
Okay.
when did you go to college?
Okay, 2008.
I went to
Christina
the
Aguilera.
Billboard Top 100.
'Kay.
All 3 of these songs are on it.
All right. All right.
You have 100 songs to choose
Oh
from.
my
so.
God.
Okay. You have my heart and will never be worlds apart. Maybe in magazines, but you'll still be my star. Baby, 'cause in the dark, you can't see shiny cars. And that's when you need me there. With you, I'll always share. Because when the sun shines, we'll shine together. Told you I'll be here forever. Said I'll always be your friend. Took an oath. I must stick it out to the end. Now that it's raining more than ever,
Oh, I
know
know
that
it.
we'll still have each other. You can stand
Shoot.
under my umbrella.
This is Rihanna, Umbrella.
Yep.
What? Oh my God.
I got it.
When
I
did you
got
get it?
About halfway through.
Hold on.
But I
Okay,
had to start thinking
what's
of the tune.
What's the start? Read the first part again.
You have my heart. We'll never be worlds apart.
This is
And my heart, and every world's apart.
Yeah.
okay. I was thinking of a different Rihanna song. I was thinking of
Ella.
Titanium or something. Like, okay, never mind.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't even know if that's her. Dude, I don't even know what that is.
1 for 1.
Oh
One
my
for one.
gosh.
Jeez, that
this
was
never
great.
happens.
The first thing she says, I'm not good at this, and then she just
No, I'm really
knocks
not,
it out of
though.
the park.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one.
It's hard the way he reads it, too.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Hey, girl. Is he everything you wanted in a man?
Oh no.
You know I gave you the world. You had me in the palm of your hand.
Ooh, that's familiar.
So why your love went away, I just can't seem to understand. Thought it was me and you, babe. Me and you until the end. But I guess I was wrong. Don't want to think about it. Don't want to talk about
How
it.
do you read this, dude?
I'm just so sick about it. Can't believe it's ending this way. Just so confused about it. Oh, I want to sing it so bad right now. Feeling the blues about it.
You wanna
I
sing
just
it?
can't do without you. Tell me,
Just can't do
is
without
this
you.
fair?
Oh my
Just
gosh.
can't do without you. Is that the?
I
what's the
know this.
What's the chorus? Or the not the chorus. What's the?
Didn't get it because it mentions the name of the song. So
Does
I
it?
didn't put it in.
I know it's not this, but and I can't get this out of my head. But Justin Bieber, baby. Oh,
you're
I
so
don't
close.
Think that's it. Is it Justin Bieber?
No, but it's
Justin Timberlake.
yes.
Justin JT.
That's
yeah,
right,
JT.
that's right.
What goes around?
I'm a good JT
Oh,
guy.
that's right.
Just so confused about it.
That's right.
About it.
Huh?
What goes
What goes
around, goes
around, comes
around.
around. Yeah.
Okay, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
That was not. You pick a better song, JT song.
That is an amazing song.
Okay.
Hey girl, is he everything you wanted in a man?
2008 though. That
I
was
mean,
probably
now
like
that
that's
I'm
early JT.
The lyrics are pretty dumb. Now that I'm hearing the lyrics, that's why I thought this was written by a
He's gonna
13-year-old.
ruin these songs. These
Yeah,
songs
he was 18-hour-old. Yeah. Okay, last one.
Okay.
You'll probably know this one at the very end. I mean, you might know it ahead of time, but I'd rather be at home with Ray. I ain't got 70 days, 'cause there's nothing you can teach me that I that I can't learn from Mr. Hathaway. I didn't get a lot in class, but I know it don't come in
Is
a
this a
shot
rap?
glass.
This is a song.
Yes. They tried to make me go to rehab, but I said
Oh.
no,
Okay.
no.
Oh yeah,
no.
dude.
This is Rehab.
That's the
by,
name.
Bye.
oh my gosh, what's
By
her name?
no. Yeah, what's her name with Bradley Cooper? Played the movie.
Nope.
What?
No.
No.
Rehab.
This
no.
is old,
oh,
man.
This
No,
is
no,
she
no, no, no.
died.
Yes, I can't remember what her
died.
name is
Rehab,
now.
no.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yes, she died. She's British.
It's not.
Is she British?
I don't know.
I think
Her
you're
last
right.
name is
She
like
Yeah, it
Uh,
sounds like
In her hair, she had
Beer Home.
beer home.
beer home.
Oh, like
I
a
know
pub?
this.
A beer
No.
home. What?
Beer home.
Linda.
Nope.
What is her name? This is
No, no,
bugging
no.
me.
Do you want me to tell you?
No, no, no.
Yes. Give us a hint. Other than beer home.
No, hold on.
Beer. Well, beer home was your hint,
Beer home is a hint.
Yeah. And you'll know why once you figure it out.
Oh my, Amy
Amy
Winehouse.
Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse.
Beer home, Winehouse.
Winehouse, beer home. I don't know.
Oh man.
It made sense in my head.
Amy Winehouse.
Yes, good.
with the
You
poofy
had it.
hair.
I don't know where I was getting the L's from.
I was thinking
Winehouse,
Nelly
Winehouse.
Furtado. That's not even close.
Good.
She may
Good
have been on the
job.
list.
We knew who it
That's good.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, rehab.
Yeah.
No. She died. We don't know how.
I'm going to give you 2.5 out of 3 because you had
Okay.
Justin right.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's
It's
great.
a good score. That's actually an amazing score.
That's great.
Even, dude, two out of 3 is an amazing score.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we do some would you rather questions.
Okay.
The only rule is you just have to answer one.
Okay.
You can't say I don't know. You have to pick one or the other.
I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have one that we always ask.
Do you like sports at all?
Yeah.
You like sports? All
Yeah,
right.
I
This
do.
is kind of a sports reference.
Okay.
Most people get it without even knowing sports, but Barry Bonds,
Mm-hmm.
you know who that is? He's the home run king,
Okay.
baseball. Played for the Giants.
Okay.
So you have to choose between Barry Bonds taking his baseball bat and swinging it as hard as he can right to the middle of your back,
Okay.
or Tiger Woods taking his driver out of his bag, just pulls it right out of his bag, dude, just gets up, takes a swing as hard as he can right to your shin with his driver.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
We are getting further and further away
I
from
know
Barry
we
Bonds.
Like,
We're
there's no
back,
one-
guys.
No one's taking the bat.
Well, the reason why is because I don't want a broken back.
No, you don't.
I'd
Nobody
rather
does.
have a shattered shin.
Yeah, it's there's just I don't know. For the general population, there is no other choice besides taking it to the shin, because you could be paralyzed.
Yes.
You know, I mean, or lose a leg. I mean,
Right,
Okay.
right.
Well, I'd rather
They have
have a
prosthetics
fake
for
leg
that.
than to not walk again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we good kickoff question.
Would you rather have to fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? Duck, not ducked. Duck.
Oh, wow. I think I'd rather fight 100 duck-sized horses.
Okay.
Ducks are
Just
scary.
Kicking, swinging.
They are
You know how
mean.
big that duck would be?
That would be
We're talking like
huge.
Clydesdale horse,
That-
like just big old horse.
Big old horse, yeah.
Dude,
one duck.
I
That
think
would
it could
be
kill you with one.
enormous. Little chomp.
It probably
Dude,
could.
just one chomp, you could just rip your arm off.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be a small horse. That's
I
a
feel like-
lot of horses.
I know. Have you seen, is it Jurassic World, where they have the little tiny dinosaurs that attack?
Yeah.
That's what I
it's
keep
one of them,
seeing.
but yeah.
That's what I keep seeing in my
Yeah,
head.
but horse, what
but
are they gonna do to you? Tiny little horse, are they gonna
I
like
don't
kick
know.
you with their
They got-
legs?
I mean, that would hurt
Their
if
mouths
they
are
all
gonna be like
kicked you
this
at the
big.
same time.
Like just
They got a
death by
strong bite.
1,000 bites?
They could trample you.
They could have
Not
100.
me. I'm not gonna.
I
allow
mean,
that.
there's 100 though.
100.
That's a
It's
lot.
true. I'll run around in circles and just like kill one at a time.
Just kick them.
100 of those, dude.
just yeah. I'm gonna
What if they
win
got
by a game
smart
of
and,
attrition.
like, transformed it up and made like.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
now you're getting a little crazy.
Yeah. Just what if? Would you rather? I think I know the answer to this one. Would you rather be able to speak to animals or know every language in the world?
Oh, I'd rather speak to animals.
Okay, that's
Hands
what I thought.
down.
Yeah. How awesome would it
That'd
be?
be
Be able to
so
talk to
cool.
your dog?
Yeah.
Like, what's up, man?
That would be
Do
amazing.
you have to talk to them
Are
in
you hungry?
their noises?
No.
Or can you speak English
Is
and
it
they
a
use
uni-
I think,
Universal
yeah. You
language.
can speak. Like, they,
Like,
you
whatever
talk and they
language.
understand you.
They bark, I know what they're saying.
You
So I
wanna-
speak
You're
English,
like
they know what I'm
Dr.
Right,
saying.
do you want to know who?
Doolittle?
Yeah, I was going to say, you're Dr. Doolittle.
I think that'd be cool.
think
I don't
that'd be
know
kinda
what
cool.
purpose that would serve.
Could
Being able to
you-
speak every language is
You
more
could probably,
useful,
I mean, you'd
but-
be able to monetize it, I'm sure, somehow.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
But it would be able to cool, like, just go to a different country and just strike up a conversation.
Yeah, I just don't
That
travel.
would be cool too. Well,
Yeah.
I don't
especially
travel.
now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Let's see if. Yeah, never mind. Would you rather have to say all of your sentences backwards or have to communicate through charades for a week?
I think charades.
Just acting it out everywhere?
Yeah. I think that'd be more fun.
That'd be
Okay.
fun.
It would be more fun.
It'd be entertaining.
It would be interesting, though. It's like week of 4 charades through communicate to have or backward sentences.
Right?
You are all say to have rather you would.
So, see, that'd be worse.
That'd be hard.
No one would know what you're
No
saying.
one would know what you were saying.
No. Would you rather have to paint a wall with your face or your knees? Has to be completed.
How big's the wall?
Right here.
Okay.
This wall with my
This
face or my
Or your
knees?
knees?
Yes.
No way. No way I do the knees.
Yeah, I think my face.
How would I get my knees up?
That's. I keep thinking you wouldn't be able to get into the. I mean, you wouldn't be able
How
to
would you
do
do
your
that?
face either, though.
How'd you do that?
I don't know.
That'd be.
Figure it out, man.
I do the face. Just cover the face with
Yeah.
paint. Yeah. You're just rubbing the wall.
Yeah.
Would you rather live without music or live without TV?
TV.
TV.
I'd
sure.
go TV too.
Yeah.
I love music.
Yes.
Okay. You know this is happening. Would you rather be eaten by maggots from the inside out or ants from the outside in?
Oh.
You know what's coming. So it's like, okay,
Okay.
here come the ants, I'm done, or
Or I'm.
the maggots
okay.
are starting,
Inside
I'm out.
How much do I feel on the inside? That's my question. 'Cause I know I'll feel the ants.
Have
Have you ever had a bellyache
If
before? I
If it's
don't know.
just
Like they start in the heart, and all of a sudden, like your heart's gone, you just die.
No, they're not going to start on that.
they're
That'd be
gonna
too quick.
start with like
They're going to start from like your feet
your
up.
pinky or something.
Oh, from the inside
Build
out.
up, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
Shoot.
I feel like both are going to be
That's-
really painful.
Yeah, I think they would both suck.
Over what period of time we talking about?
And what kind of
How-
ants?
However
months?
long it would take you to die, I don't know. However long it would
No
take.
way.
Are these
Dude.
like
No
common
way.
household ants, or are these
These are
African
are these
killer
fire
ants?
These are like
Uh.
these are like the African marching ants that
Yeah, whatever
like,
is the
kill
most
birds
painful
that fall
ant.
down
I'll-
from the sky.
Sure.
I would take that. I feel like that would go quicker.
Ants? Oh,
Dude. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
okay.
I'm going maggots.
Maggots? I think I might go maggots too. Ah, they both suck.
Yeah.
Would you rather be a home wrecker or home wrecked?
Hold on.
Oh man.
Okay, hold on.
Would
That's
you
a good
rather
way to
have
put it.
no values?
Do you want to
or
cheat on your spouse or your spouse cheat on you?
Yeah.
That's basically what you're saying.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
But that's a good way to phrase it.
That is.
You want to be a home wrecker
or
get home
or
wrecked?
be home wrecked.
Oh, crap.
What's your
You
husband's
have
name?
to answer.
Sean.
Sean, this isn't real life.
Yeah, this isn't real.
We are forcing her to answer this.
Cannot hold her against this answer.
I think.
Hold
I'd-
on. Home wrecked,
Yeah.
home wrecker. Oh my gosh. If I have to answer it honestly, I'd say home wrecker.
Wow. Okay. Why?
I just think I would.
Can I get
I
my-
just don't want. I don't want my wife to wreck. I think I would say. I would. It's almost like taking one for the team. Like, honey, okay, it's either you or me here.
And
You
you're
got to
saying-
do this.
You're saying you take one for the team.
I'd say you got to do this
Got it.
against me, which I think she would hate that worse. Actually, I don't know. But it would be that's the discussion you're having.
Okay,
Is like,
that's
okay,
fair.
okay, babe,
Right.
you gotta go.
You gotta
go
go
cheat on me, or I
or
gotta
I'm
cheat
gonna
on
cheat
you.
on you. Wow.
And I guess I wasn't necessarily answering that as of like I'm looking forward to that. Like I think, but I just think because I would like my wife's got to do that to me, or I got to do it to
Right.
my wife.
Oh wow.
Dude, that's a tough one, Reed.
I think I'd rather be home wrecked.
Home wreck.
And
Okay.
you can hold it against them,
I.
right? And then, that's actually
You
a good
could.
Oh,
point.
we just told Sean
You
this is
could.
not gonna. It's not
Yeah, they're gonna, but yeah,
Okay.
probably get some. You stay together.
All right.
You're probably going to get a lot of honeydews
Yeah.
out of the situation.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
A little more obedient probably over the
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah.
Home wrecked, huh?
Home wrecked. Okay. I should have saved that one for the end.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Would you rather have an elephant trunk for a nose or the nose of an anteater? So I can't really say. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like their face, right? It's not necessarily their nose,
Yeah.
but like that whole
That
thing.
reminds me of
Your face is an
Beetlejuice.
anteater. Yeah.
Well, it's just kind of the nose part. Like it goes out.
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah.
See what you're saying? What
Elephant trunk.
An
as a
elephant
nose?
trunk.
Yeah.
So an elephant trunk.
Yeah, but like a
Or-
real sized elephant trunk, or is
Or
it
a
Well, I think
human
it's going to be
size.
proportionate to your body,
Okay,
right? So
okay.
it'll be, it's not
Okay,
going
so
to be.
this isn't like
it's
a
not this
15
big.
foot long
like
nose.
it's like. Okay, I got it.
It's going to be, here, down. It's not going to be
Right,
like
right,
this,
right.
Is it functional?
proportionate. Like, can you smell and
Can I
grab
suck
can you
water
grab
out of-
peanuts and
Can
suck
I grab
water?
peanuts?
Sure.
Can I eat? I don't even have to use my hands. I can eat with my nose.
Sure.
Because I just scoop things up.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is actually
That's
pretty cool.
pretty cool.
And if you have the other, all you can do is eat ants.
You have an amazing sniffer, though.
That's true.
You'll be able to find anything. You can find your keys when you lost them.
So you think like elephant has a great
I have no idea.
I think so. And if
They
your
use it
keys
to
got stuck somewhere, you can
touch
use your
them.
nose to get 'em.
I'm going elephant.
I think I am too.
I'd go elephant. Okay. Would you rather be constantly itchy or constantly sticky?
Constantly itchy.
Itchy,
Yeah.
no sticky.
No, that sounds gross.
It does sound gross. Would you rather have to pull out all of your nails from one hand
Okay.
or pull out one tooth
Oh, I'd rather pull out one
by
tooth.
yourself?
Tooth.
By myself, yeah. Tooth for sure. Pull out. I couldn't pull
5
out all of
nails?
my nails. No way.
Just in one hand.
Just-
That one guy cut off his arm. You could pull out some nails. You'd be fine. What was his name?
yeah, but it's
What
like you
was
have a
127
choice.
I know.
The guy down in
Like,
Southern
well, pull out a
Utah.
tooth or cut my arm off.
127 hours?
Yeah, 27
Yeah.
hours.
Okay. Got to think about this one. Would you rather have to fight and kill a chicken to the death every time you got in your car? So every time you open that door and get in, there's a chicken
There's a
waiting. You
chicken.
got to kill it.
Okay.
Okay. Or fight a gorilla to the death once a year. So once a
Well,
year.
I would die. I would die in year one.
You just gotta
Do I
fight.
come
You
back?
don't know. It's like, okay, January 1, it's like I start my training.
Fair.
I'm
So
gonna
you-
become-
So the gorilla, you know you can win.
You know
You're
that you have a
maybe in your
fair
head. I don't
chance.
know.
You know you can kill a chicken every day. So
Yeah, but
either
it's like
either
once a year-
risk death once a year,
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say okay. I'm gonna say at the end of the year,
or
is
have
when you have to do
tons
is you
of
have a
chicken for
full,
dinner.
You have a
all
full
year
year.
long.
Think of a normal non-COVID year. How many times
Okay.
you got in your car,
Okay.
and you have to kill
You wouldn't drive, dude.
10 chickens a day.
I'm riding my
No,
bike.
you
But-
wouldn't.
I'm
You
riding
walk
my bike.
everywhere.
You cannot change your mode of transportation because of it. You are still driving.
All these rules.
Yeah, well, I
That's a lot of cars. Every car, because I
It makes
mean,
it
just
too
to
easy.
and
It's like,
to
yeah,
and
I'm
from
never-
work, that's 2 chickens.
I'm never
Right.
gonna drive. Great.
Right.
You would. That's so weird, dude.
I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain
Yeah,
around being able
because-
to fight a gorilla and win.
The thing is, like, you're not going to beat a gorilla. It doesn't even matter how hard you train. You're going to die. Basically, it's like either you live a year or you fight
Right.
chickens every time you get in the car.
Which I think
Yeah.
I'd
You're
rather.
going to fight chickens
I-
every time you get in the car. Dude, you'd rip your arms off and beat you to death with your own arms.
Maybe you become just incredible. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, that would suck to get killed by a gorilla.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
That'd be brutal.
Yes, it would.
Okay, 2 more. Would you rather have sex with your cousin in secret
Oh, gross.
and no one knows,
Okay.
or not have sex with your cousin, but everyone would think you did? It doesn't matter what you say. Everybody says,
Oh, you
there's
did.
Summer, the cousin lover.
Oh, sick.
Can you pick the cousin?
Both of those. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you can pick your cousin.
Alright.
Doesn't matter.
Wow.
But
So
it's
hold on.
either,
God,
either.
I hope none of my cousins listen to this. That's
I need to get
awful.
all of your cousins' names so
All
I
of-
can tag them.
Okay,
This is
you're
bad.
single, right? We're assuming you're single.
Right.
No, this is right now.
Right now?
You're married.
Well, hold on.
No, hold on. This is right now.
so
It's
hold on.
either
So you're
either you
married.
did it
So either you
and no one
have sex-
Everybody
ever
thinks-
knows.
And no
Either
one
one
ever
you
finds
really
out.
cheated on. You really
Right.
cheated on your husband,
Right.
wife,
with your
or
cousin.
everybody thinks you did, but you really didn't, and it obviously was with the cousin. But it's
Right.
in secret, where everybody's like, "Oh yeah, there's the unfaithful cousin."
Right.
Whatever term. cousin
Including
lover,
including your spouse.
including your spouse.
Yeah, they're gonna think, gosh, I don't know if I can get over this.
Oh,
Secret.
this is so gross. but
Cousin
I think,
lover.
I think
You
I
guys do. There's no way.
for
the rest,
sure.
No way.
Yuck. It just feels gross coming out, but I think I agree.
Yeah, I think you do it in secret.
Yeah.
Secret.
I think I
Yeah.
could live with that.
Okay. All right. All right.
Like George Costanza says, it's not a lie if you believe it.
There you go.
There you go.
You believe it. Okay. Last one. Would you rather be with Harry or Ron
Ron.
at the first movie?
The first movie?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, hold on. Well,
young
I mean,
Harry, young Ron Weasley.
but like you're gonna marry one of them.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
gonna marry
let's
Harry
see.
Potter
Do you
or
mean be
Ron?
with or be with?
I mean, be with.
Oh, gross.
You mean be with.
assuming
Okay.
I'm 11 as well.
A lot of sex talk in these Would You Rathers.
Let me
I
think
kinda
about
like
this.
They're really. I didn't mean for it to be that way, but
Harry or Ron?
yeah. Who you choosing?
I
I have to
honestly
choose?
think
Who's
I'd-
your
I
Who's
think
your
I'd
stallion?
still- I think I'd still choose Ron.
Ron. Okay.
Harry bugs me.
I'll go with Ron.
Are you just going because you're redhead?
Redheads.
He's redhead.
We're both
It's
redheads.
just sticking together.
If I had to choose, I'd go Ron.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. That was
Yeah.
it. That's the last one.
That's good.
Ah, you were
Appreciate it,
awesome.
Reader.
Thank
Way
you.
to finish that up.
That's
was
great.
fun.
Thank
we
you
had a
so
great
much.
time. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Yeah.
thank you. It was
And
awesome.
Cut.